That's an okay model. I think a more useful model is this one, and here's why. If I have a model like this, and you can see it's forming a tangent on top of here. So with this kind of a model, if I put mass on this side and I want to equal it out, I have to put an equal amount of mass on this side. Well, as human beings, we just don't gain mass that quickly. I've gained mass, but not that quickly. All right, so how do we deal with this? Okay, well, they put mass. How do we, on this side, how do we balance that out? That's the whole thing, right? This can rotate on a singular plane such that it balances out, and that's how you get that kind of scale, that the hanging scale that they would use in Asia. So you'd put your thing over here and you'd have your little measurements that come out, and you just move it out until it's balanced, and you say, okay, it's this much. I think that's a better model, although I initially conceived of this model, but relating to what we're doing, I think this is a better model. Anyway, Aiki 2. Now, let me point out something. This working is entirely dependent upon this not going like that, right? And this not deforming. I just showed you that if I push on it, it'll deform. So if I put enough mass on this thing, this deforms now, and it's not balancing anything anymore. Okay? That's where the kokyu yoku, the importance of kokyu yoku comes in. The stronger I can make this, the more non-resistant, it's kind of an interesting paradox. The stronger I can make this, the more non-resistance I can have to a force that's coming in. So this comes in like this is moving, and boom, we have this resultant force vector. All right? Well, I'll go ahead and get to Aiki 3. So Aiki 3 is this same thing. It's rotating on this plane, and then I cut it in half and I have it rotating on this plane. All right? Or I can have it rotating on this plane, and I can have it rotating on this plane. That way I get my fire and water and my heaven and earth. That's a shikon. I have rotation, this interpenetrating rotation on two different planes, and that covers the whole thing. So whenever a linear, if I could do this, okay, a linear force comes in, it's going to be met orthogonally. All right? If the kokyu ryoku is strong enough. Okay? So now you can see, it's the teeter-totter is only as strong as this thingy and the fulcrum. Now, this thingy and a human being is part of us, and we are the fulcrum. Okay? I can get back to kokyu doku later and how to develop and everything, where it involves our tissue very, very much. And also it involves the air. We have pneumatic pressure inside of ourselves. Okay? All of our tissue is connected to that. Many of us aren't aware of that, but we can, at a different time, we can go over that and you'll become aware of it. And then you can train that, and this could be stronger. So then not only this is part of this, right? Everything becomes stronger, so consequently everything has the capacity to be increasingly, the capacity to be non-resistant when encountering greater forces. Okay. Now let's go back before I quit to this thing. It's a really big thing, and I think a lot of people miss it because it seems very abstract. All right. Again, we got a force coming this way, you got a force coming this way, they meet at 90 degrees. All right. This force doesn't impede this force doesn't impede this force. They feel each other, okay? And there's this resultant force vector. There is no resistance. It's the very definition of Aiki that a lot of people like to tout, all right? But they feel resistance while they're doing it, right? They're going blah, 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 blah. Now come here and either do what I say because I tell you to, and now look, there's non-resistance, right? Or do what I say because if you don't, I'm going to, bust your head or crank you or something like this. And there's a lot of resistance involved in that, all right? When you're talking about non-resistance, it's incredibly powerful, the better you get at this, the stronger you get, the more force that you can non-resist, the more powerful you become. And my teacher, Shirata Sensei, said, you should be working to get to the point where whenever you're doing anything, you're kind of going, you're just like barely doing anything, because if you do anything, the bones and tissue are going to fly off and there's going to be mayhem. Until you get to that point, you haven't arrived at a martial level that you need to be. And if you've ever encountered, this wouldn't be me, but if you've ever encountered people who are reaching that level or at that level, they are actively dirtying themselves up, restraining themselves from exhibiting the kind of power that they have, because we can't take it. We would just blow apart, right? That's the I hope you will consider, it relates to what Ueshiba said on his first thing, one strike can kill in Aikido. Okay, if you've encountered one of these people that has that tremendous amount of power, it isn't like, if I punch you here, you'll die. It's not like that. It's that I can release the kind of force that if it goes into you, you cannot dissipate it, and it will be dissipated in your body and organs will explode. That's the kind of force that Ueshiba was talking about. So this thing is super duper important, okay? Yes. So I invite you to go ahead, think about this, figure this out, steal this secret, right? That's been an open secret for a long time and is still just kind of lying dormant. All right, and I will keep throwing things out there, and we will progress together. Thank you for joining me here today, and we'll talk more again next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.